How do you kind of divvy up this week in terms of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, it was, again, Tuesday and Wednesday we had a segment of self-scout where each coordinator kind of focused on a couple areas. We had 4 5-minute segments in each practice devoted to that, and then we had some time devoted to Duke, and then we finished each practice yesterday with some Skelly with the developmental squad, and today was some scrimmage.
Do you even suit up Bayshaw or Kyron? You just say just sit out?
Not this week, they didn't. Yeah, those guys, they got to recharge. I mean, they're just not well, and we got the time. The goal was to get them rocking and rolling on Sunday and get a full game week out of them. We'll have to see how they feel on Sunday.
You enjoy seeing that young guys scrimmage there as much as the players do?
I think so. Yeah, it's great to see those. They don't get an opportunity to do that a lot, and to see them make plays and compete and have fun with it. And our guys always get into it. They love, encouraging them and watching them and coaching them, and I think it's good.
Any young players have stood out so far?
Yeah, I tell you, Derek Dandy continually makes plays. I think Chance Wiggins is a guy that makes plays. Josh Clark has been coming on. So those are the guys I mentioned.
It looked like kind of a scary situation with Gabe Williams in that last game. How's he doing? And it sounds like something with his dad as well that he tweeted today.
Yeah, Gabe's going to be a surgical deal, so he'll be out for a while, but certainly, going to recover and be back with us. His dad's got a health issue that occurred during the game following the injury. So just a really tough situation for his family. Obviously, we've had a bunch of coaches and our team chaplain and others have all been to see him, and he's been in the building. And but his dad's in tough shape right now, and we've had to hold on Gabe's surgery for a few days just to give him a chance to kind of be with his dad and support his dad.
I mean, it's a terrible time for that injury whenever, but I mean, that was sort of his first action in the game.
He played a little bit on teams, but yeah, I think it was his second or third play of defense, and a really freak deal. Unfortunate, but he's a tough kid. He's young. He's going to bounce back.
How do you cope with that as a coach, balancing that with, okay, the player's hurt, but man, the dad's got to...
Yeah, it comes first. Yeah, the family deal comes first, and being there for his family and getting hotel rooms for them and doing all these things to make sure that we're supporting them. I mean, it's tough because the family's out of town. They live in the D.C., Baltimore area, and to have to come down and it's supposed to be a joyous day, right? You get to support your son, see him play, and not only is he hurt, and there's a health concern with dad, so just a lot. It's unfortunate.
Your running backs is sort of a walking mash unit over there. Everybody's got a boot or something. If it comes to Coney and he's the guy, do you trust him in that situation? I know he didn't get any carries in the last game. Was that a game plan type situation? How did that work out?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously wanted to give Bayshaw every opportunity to see, how he was, which obviously, the first time he had to kind of really cut on it. But we have trust in Coney. He's got a little bit of game experience. He's got a lot of true carries in practice against the first or second defense. He's a guy that we've gotten to know more about, as he's been in the program.
Does Tyler Mason work his way up?
Yeah, he's on the varsity field, obviously. Right now he's number 3. And he got a lot of good work today. I thought he looked good today.
We talked to Malachi the Tuesday before the Syracuse, before the Clemson game. Is it sort of just a
freak one
in practice?
Yeah, he's getting better quick. I don't, he's probably questionable for Duke, but he's getting better in a hurry. Kind of just a freak deal.
Is someone who's had a past with ankle injuries, is that something that you really have to monitor?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. So, I mean, he's a guy that we have to try and keep healthy, and he takes good care of himself. He eats right, he sleeps good, he gets treatment. I think that's one of the reasons he's bouncing back pretty quick.
APR was a semifinalist on a couple lists. How impressive is that for him, and what does that mean for the program?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, happy for him. It's deserving. I think Coach Price and defense staff done a great job. You know, just leaning into his strengths and what he does well. And you know, he competes in practice. He's gotten better over last year. He's an improved player. You know, to me, you know, he's as far as pass rush, he's really, I don't want to say he's mastered it, but he's a guy that's worked at his craft to where, you know, sometimes he makes it look pretty easy.
When you're making that pitch to NFL scouts, I'm sure you will in these upcoming months, what do you say to them about his game and where it's really taken off?
Yeah, I think he's a really well-balanced defensive end right now. You know, he's improved in the run game. I think he brings, you know, for our level, an elite pass rush ability. He's smart. He learns it. He can make adjustments. He's tough. He's played and practiced hurt. He transitioned into our locker room very well. Unselfish. All the guys seem to enjoy him. So I can't say enough good things about it.
We've seen there have been times he's lined up on the other end, and you've asked him to like drop back in coverage on just very few instances. Is that to get him ready for the next level in case outside linebacker would be the best?
Yeah, I mean, it's just our scheme. It's some of the things we do. You know, we ask our ends, particularly our boundary ends, to drop at times, and you know, that's usually where he's stationed, but not always. But you know, he could be, depending on the team he goes to and the scheme they run, he could be asked to do that more often than we are.
Sort of circling back to some true freshman guys, Keelan Adams, Josh Clark, two guys who also saw some action in the Clemson game. What have you seen from them this week?
Yeah, really excited about both of them. Keelan's gotten a ton of work in team and scale with the varsity all year. Just because of numbers, you don't want to overwork your receivers or you have an injury. He was always the next man up. So he's gotten a lot of good reps with the first unit and second unit. Josh Clark, really, you know, just the back half of the season here, getting him an opportunity. And, you know, this week we backed off Mansour and Dorian a little bit, and so those guys got more reps, and you know, he shows up. I think he's a really good young corner prospect.